Khadija reached out to me after watching one of my videos on the detriments of children being raised in a single mother home. She contacted me and she booked a consultation with me immediately. And she mentioned that her marriage was on the rocks, but that she wanted to save it. I said, okay. She booked the consultation and we had the conversation. And thus began one of the strangest conversations I have ever had with a sister in my life. And she mentioned that when she got married, according to the customs of her particular ethnicity, one of the cultural norms is for the wife to move in with the husband and his parents. She said, I have no problems with this. I myself am from the same culture. It's not an issue for me. I understand it is what it is. What's the problem, Sister Khadija?
I'm contemplating divorce.
Why, Sister Khadija? Her husband, Muhammad, is for all intents and purposes practicing. Muhammad prays his 5 daily prayers, as does Khadija. Muhammad has a very high-powered career and makes an escalating 5-figure income. So he does well on the surface from both a deen, religious perspective, and a dunya, worldly perspective. What's the problem, Khadija? You seem to be doing well. They have a child as well.
My husband does not ever last any longer than 10 seconds.
Sister, come on. Sister Khadija, please. What are you talking about here? 10 seconds? There's a minute, man. I heard of 10-second man. What are you talking about? They've been married for almost a decade.
Brother, I'll be honest with you. I don't even care. From a intimacy perspective, I don't care whether I'm satisfied or not.
I'm quoting you her words. But I feel like a prostitute after he has been with me, such that it feels as though he is hurrying up and rushing the process to finish quickly. I said, okay, well, there's something off there. It turns out Brother Muhammad is speaking to many women, Muslim and otherwise, online. And not only after he was caught red-handed by his wife Khadija does he not deny it, but he gaslights his wife Khadija into saying only God can judge. And who are you to judge? And I'm doing my best to repent, but us men, we love the chase. Brother Muhammad, us men disown you. Us Muslim men want nothing to do with you and your antics or addiction to the chase, as you coined it. How in the world are you justifying this? So all of Muhammad's attention is going to these individuals on Instagram, whoever they are, whilst his wife Khadija feels somewhat neglected. The story continues. Brother Mahdi, I have asked my husband to honor one of these women, to make the honorable move and make them a wife. I have no problem with him taking a wife. He is financially capable, more than capable. And I am understanding. I just don't want him to continue like this in haram. It feels disrespectful towards me. I don't care about being intimately satisfied. I don't care if he wants to take another wife. I would prefer him to. I just don't want him to continue in this way. Oh, and by the way, Brother Mahdi, I forgot to mention, I never dress up for my husband. And I'm always wearing hijab, and I always wear jilbab, abaya, and I never wear makeup. Hello, good morning, Sister Khadija. That would have been useful if you had shared that quite vital piece of information at the beginning of this conversation. Why don't you wear makeup for your husband, Sister Khadija? Maybe that's why he doesn't want to be intimate with you. Why are you always wearing your hijab? Why are you always wearing your jilbab? We live with his parents, and he has 4 brothers that don't live with us, but all 4 brothers have a key to the home. And all 4 brothers are in and out of the home every single day, multiple times a day, to the point where there is never a time where I can just walk around the house without my Islamic attire on. It needs to be on at all times, just in case they walk in. Shall I be honest with you? The fast, knee-jerk reaction that came to my mind was, where are your balls, bruv? Where are your testicles? Where have they gone? Have they shriveled so far up inside your body that you have now become a woe man? You have 4 brothers coming in and out of the home every single day, multiple times a day, whilst your wife is at home, such that she feels she cannot take even her hijab and abaya off at any given moment in case they walk in. And you are not concerned about this. You are not concerned about shaitan coming between you. And the Prophet ﷺ has mentioned that the brother-in-law is hellfire 3 times in his authentic hadith, referring to the danger of the relationship between brother-in-law and sister-in-law. You are not a man. And after my initial emotional reaction and response, I went away and thought about it. And I decided to seek some knowledge. And I asked a student of knowledge this question with regards to, is it permissible for the husband to take his brother's keys away if mum doesn't want him to? Do you see the problem here? Because oftentimes in certain ethnic cultures, mums can be extremely interfering and domineering, and oftentimes wear the trousers in the relationship to the point where the men, the husbands, the sons feel emasculated to a degree, feel under pressure to conform and please mum at all times. And this is not inherently in and of itself a bad thing. Being honoring your parents and taking care of them is actually an amazing thing. But any virtue taken to its extreme quickly becomes a vice, especially when you are dealing with emotional women. And she might be your mum, because she can still be emotional. She can still be vindictive, and she can still have malintent. And I will talk about this on another video, where mother-in-law and daughter-in-law are constantly at each other's throats and going head to head. It's a power struggle. That's a video for another time. Better subscribe to the channel if you want to see that one. And the student of knowledge responded to me after I explained the situation. He mentioned this is a very simple situation, Mahdi. And he said, if the husband is living in his mom's house, he does not have the right to take his brother's keys away. And he should simply move out and have his own abode. Even if that own abode is simply next door. Let's say he has to take care of his mum because it's on him. Then next door, you're earning an escalating 5-figure income. You can take care of your mum and your wife at the same time. You have 4 other brothers. You can share the responsibility of taking care of your mum. Find a way, because if you don't, you might lose your wife. If, on the other hand, it is his home and his mother is living with him in his home, he absolutely has the right to take the keys away from his brothers. And I'll be honest with you, yeah. I'm addressing the religious standpoint first because I have to as a Muslim, and we are guided by our religion and its principles firstly and foremostly, and out of respect for the religion, that is why I've done that. But I'm gonna be honest with you, big man thing, bro. But where are your balls, bro? Seriously, your brothers are in and out of the house, probably having happy dappy conversations with your wife as well, and you're just there like, what? Like nothing's happened, like it's all good. Many men who are having to juggle the responsibilities and relationship of mum and wife at the exact same time find themselves drowning in the emotions of both women. And both women are playing manipulation games, and both women are involved in a power struggle, and both women are attempting to use their husband or son as a pawn in advancing their own agenda. The one who is successful in managing this dynamic of mum living with him and his wife at the same time is the one who is able to treat these 2 women almost as though they are both his wives. It's like having 2 wives. You need to know how to manage their emotions. And no, you don't need to say no and be rude and defiant. It requires hikmah, wisdom, particularly when it comes to dealing with your mum. Your wife, you tell her to shut her mouth and do as she's told. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah? A lot of you guys, you do not have the testicles, the ball fortitude to look your woman in the eye and tell her to shut her mouth and do as she's told. For reasons unbeknownst to me, you don't seem to have it in you. And if you don't have it in you, I suggest you join me in my private community, the Janissaries, and I will teach you how to do so. Link in the description. And I can't even blame some of you, because many individuals who find themselves in this environment whereby they are torn between pleasing mum and getting the best out of their wife at the same time were raised in a household where their mum was domineering and their father was passive and constantly acquiesced towards the whims of his wife. Son sees that and says to himself, that's how I should be. Daughters see that and says to herself, that's how I should be. Domineering and so on. And it doesn't help that we've had a propagation of Muslim influencers online in my generation, sadly, I feel ashamed to be associated with them, who exemplify in the worst of ways this behavior. This, for want of a better word, simpy, cringy, disgusting behavior. In fact, I made a video on it a couple of years ago. You can check that out right here.